Ever wonder why success doesn't feel as good as you thought it would? You're not alone. For men like you who've worked tirelessly for decades, feeling lost, bored, and empty, even trapped by your success, is a common and solvable challenge. My name is Craig Filek, and over the past 15 years, I've coached hundreds of the most successful men in America to clarify what's next for the second half of their lives. And in this video, I'll explain why success traps midlife men, and more importantly, how you can escape mediocrity and boredom by reigniting the fire that drove you to the top of Success Mountain. Let me paint a picture for you. Tell me if this resonates. You wake up in the morning, staring at the ceiling, thinking, now what? What's next? There's got to be more to life than this. Despite the accolades, the financial freedom, whatever you've done to achieve success, life feels oddly flat. Kind of like you're stuck at the DMV waiting for your number, silently going nuts and ready to blow it all up just to create some excitement again. Everybody compliments you on your achievements, and logically, you believe that they should feel satisfying, but instead, you're restless, adrift, and desperately searching for something that you can't quite name and aren't even certain exists. That's exactly where men tend to reach out to me at the summit of Success Mountain, asking, was this really the point of the past couple decades? Am I just going to be an insanely comfortable zombie until I die? Here's the truth. This frustration is actually an invitation to something much bigger, the second mountain. Successful men crave three things when they hit this phase of life. Number one is to rediscover that spark, that driving purpose that once made your work so exhilarating. Number two is transitioning from external success to internal fulfillment in the second mountain, where you're building a life that feels deeply meaningful and rewarding in exciting new ways that you've never experienced before. And number three is to make an impact that truly matters, not just on the world, but on the people closest to you, whose faces reflect the positive difference that you make every day and give you a sense of leaving a legacy well before you reach your deathbed. But here's the catch. Most men in this phase of life get stuck because they fall into predictable traps. Here are some I see often and wonder if any of these feel familiar for you. You double down on your work thinking the next big win is going to fill the void. I don't have to say it. You already know it. It won't. You stay busy, golfing, traveling, filling your calendar when you really need to still yourself and wait for the mud to settle so you can get clarity. Or you avoid the discomfort of self-reflection, telling yourself you're just too busy with all the little facets of managing your lifestyle and you'll figure it out later, or maybe even telling yourself there isn't more to life and you just bury your head in comfortable distractions trying to prove you've arrived when deep down you know you've barely reached the starting line. These mistakes don't make you weak, they make you human. But there's a way to step off the hamster wheel and into something more. Here's the insight. Success is not the destination. It's actually just the starting line of the real game you were born to play. Like believing birth is the end point of gestation when really the game has just begun outside the womb. Believing you've arrived is what has you feeling trapped. I'm going to say that again. Believing that you've arrived when you reach the top of Success Mountain, if you believe that this is the end of the game, that's what gets you trapped. You have to realize that there's a whole other game, and that's what gets you unstuck, and that's where you begin the journey up your second mountain. Your first mountain was about building security and wealth through your career. Your second mountain is about contribution, growth, and purpose. It's a completely different game, and it only becomes available in midlife for men who are willing to do the deeper work that most men will never even have the opportunity to begin because they're too busy working for a living. So this is an extraordinary privilege of a lifetime. And I'm going to say something harsh because I've worked with hundreds of the most successful men in America, and far too many are content to allow mediocrity to swallow them whole, like taking the blue pill to get plugged back into the matrix. If you've watched this far and you understand what I'm saying about this unique opportunity to live your purpose and move up Maslow's hierarchy from success to self-actualization, then you must know what I mean when I say you would be a fool to waste this chance. So how do you navigate the shift from success to the deeper fulfillment that's possible for you? Well, here's where I begin with all my clients. Number one, pause, reflect, stop chasing goals that no longer inspire you. Just take a moment. Take a moment and sit with the discomfort that arises and ask yourself, what is the deeper calling that's taking root in me as I let the mud settle after decades of hustling and grinding up that first mountain? Number two is to recalibrate your vision. So think beyond these external rewards. How would a truly meaningful life feel to you? If you're like 99% of the men who make it to an actual introductory call with me, you have no idea. And that's the problem. Most men I talk to tell me, Craig, if I knew that, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I'd be out there getting after it. But it doesn't mean you don't have a second mountain waiting for you in the fog. It just means you haven't taken the time to seek it out yet. Number three is to identify the small moments that bring you joy, or the ideas that make your heart race a little bit, and follow those threads until you've reignited the drive and motivation that fueled you up Success Mountain, that magnetized your team, your partners, investors, and allies to support you, and created that spark of chemistry with your wife, who's depending on you to find the next bigger thing to lead your marriage forward so she can still feel excited to be your number one and have your back in the next great adventure of your lives together. These three steps might sound simple, but they're life-changing when you commit to actually slowing down and doing them. They'll guide you along the path from the top of Success Mountain through the dark forest to the trailhead of your second mountain where meaning, joy, and impact await you. So the challenge that you're facing isn't about working harder or achieving more. It's actually about slowing down and aligning your life with what truly, deeply matters to you. The frustration that you feel trapped in, it's a signal that a much bigger mission is calling to you. And what you've achieved thus far is dwarfed in comparison to what awaits you. The real question is, are you ready to take the steps and do the deeper work? So hit like, subscribe, and comment below if this resonates for you, or go ahead and book a call if you've watched a bunch of these videos on the channel and you're feeling clear that we're the right team to help you take stock, find clarity, and map out the next steps to reignite your passion and purpose so you can get out of the success trap and find the path up your second mountain. And if you're new to the channel, please do not book a call yet. We are overloaded with applications. And while I'm sure I'd love to meet you and hear your story, we're very focused on serving the men who are ready to rock and just don't have time for eager, well-meaning tire kickers hoping to figure out what's next on a free 20-minute introductory call. Do your research. Watch my thesis video called Midlife Crisis 2.0, Why Having It All Isn't Enough Anymore, and watch a few of the other videos on the channel. I'm definitely not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm an absolute bullseye for creative, visionary, maverick entrepreneurs who resonate with my style and my teachings in these videos. So start there and book a call when you're ready to have a serious conversation about how we can help you clarify what's next for the second half of your life so you can jump out of bed, stoked to get after it, and ultimately die complete. I'll look forward to it. You definitely earned it, brother. See you in the next video.